You know how I stole cat food and became known as the cat food bandit? I found myself homeless in Hawaii for the first time, stuck in a small town called Mililani. Mililani is a haughty-daughty community. They think they're a little better than everybody else, and they're right in the middle of the island. The only way to get in or out is with a vehicle because they're separated by a huge gulch. I was in a very tough spot in life. I knew no one, I had no friends, no family, no money, no phone. My glasses were bent and broke, but I still had to wear them. I had 2 left shoes, and the worst thing about it, my arms, legs, and chest were covered with pus-seeping boils. I didn't have much, but the one thing that I did have was a public library card, and that's where I went every day, the Mililani Public Library. One day on my normal walk to the library, I walked by this drainage ditch covered in graffiti where all the local kids like to hang out, and there's a thick and thorny bush. I walked by the bush and I could hear a kitten inside the bush. I tried to get my hand in, but I couldn't. The kitten was stuck in there, so I just continued to the library. I spent all day at the library, and when I walked home that day, I stopped by the same bush to see if the kitten was there. I listened for the kitten, I could hear the kitten, but the cries got a lot quieter and less frequent. The kitten obviously needed out of that bush. At that moment that I decided I was going to save this kitten, I started pulling branch after branch. I didn't get very far, and some kids came up and asked if I would buy them some alcohol. I told them, hey, if you kids help me get this kitten out of this bush, I'll buy you some crack. I didn't really say that. So me and the kids start pulling branch after branch of the bush until we get close to the kitten. I managed to get the kitten's tail and pull it out. It was a beautiful orange, black, and white calico, which I named Moses because of the bush. Moses still had blue eyes, which means she was 2 weeks or younger. The first night I gave her some milk, but the next morning I woke up and I had to figure out how I was going to take care of this cat. I didn't have any money, but I needed cat food soon, so I went to the library and I researched everything I could about shoplifting. The first can of Fancy Feast was the hardest to steal, or actually working up the nerve to take the first can of Fancy Feast and put it in my pocket, that was the hardest. But I remember the Katy Perry song was playing on the intercom, and that song really motivated me. Put the first can in my pocket, then the second can, and the third can, and before you know it, I'm singing along with the song. I am a champion, stealing a cat food. The craziest thing is whenever I left my campsite, I would always leave an AM/FM radio on to make people think that I was there. And when I came back all happy with all the cat food to give to Moses, guess what song was playing on the radio when I got back to the campsite? Katy Perry Roar. I busted out the Fancy Feast and we opened up like 3 cans. Moses was crawling all around it and we're all saying, we are the champions. We are the kiddies.